How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Dave's Open Range. It's been a while. I've made 3 videos since the last one, which I think was the beaver cut down, and today. But all 3 of those videos I messed up in one way or another. So here we are. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know my mistakes. So today's somebody's birthday, and we're making French toast. Couple of tricks I like about it, and it depends on how you like it. But for now, we're going to mix up the batter, the coating, the stuff you soak the bread in. So let me zoom the camera in, and so you can see more exactly what I'm doing. I'll be right back. So like anything, it depends on how you like your French toast. I like it a little bit not fluffy. I like it a little bit, I don't know if I want to say tough or chewy, but kinda. Bread matters, and I'll talk about that a little bit when I'm cooking it. But this isn't anything super special, but it's brioche, and just by feel, it's a little bit firm, which is good. It's not real fluffy, and I almost prefer like a crusty French or Italian loaf, at which point you need to soak it more. But first things first, bread matters. It's not super duper important, but I don't like wheat bread for French toast, and I don't like anything resembling Wonder Bread that's too soft, too sweet. So this is 5 eggs, and we'll see about the milk once I whisk it up, and depends on how you like it, like anything. But it's breakfast, it's brunch, and some sugar I think helps it crust up a little bit. So let's call that 3 tablespoons, maybe 4. That's not an actual tablespoon. Also key to this is vanilla. This is homemade vanilla. We could talk about it another time, but those are vanilla beans and vodka soaked in 6 or 8 months. It's very good. So this is an important ingredient. Depends on how much you like vanilla. We like it. That's probably almost a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon of real vanilla, homemade vanilla. Talk about that another time. Cinnamon, it depends on how you like cinnamon. You could put a little nutmeg in here, put whatever you want in here. But we're gonna go with a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're gonna give that a whisk, and see how we're looking. I like it, whisk it kind of a lot. You don't want to make a meringue out of it, but pretty much a watery custard. I'm going to put a little more milk in there. That's a little bit eggy, so just a little bit more milk. This is just standard 2% milk. Whole milk would be decadent. Soy milk would be fine. Anything but water, pretty much. Half and half would be very good, but arguably too rich. So just 2% milk. And I am gonna stop right there. So that's about perfect. 5 eggs, maybe a cup and a half of 2% milk, vanilla, sugar, cinnamon. And then we're gonna put that in a pan that we will soak the bread in. We'll talk about the cooking on the next time I turn the video back on. But that's my preference for the batter. What do you call it? That's not batter. We'll call it batter for this video. And we'll talk about the cooking when we get to it. Okay, we're back to ready to cook it. I've got just about 2 tablespoons of butter in there, real butter. And I've got if you believe the temperatures on this, I've got it at about 200, so a little bit low. Like I said, maybe I'll time this and tell you how long it takes me to cook it, but if you got the patience, I like to do it low and slow so that it doesn't cook too fast, and then if you cook it too fast, it gets a little bit fried, and then the middle of the bread is a little bit too custardy. So soak it pretty good. I don't leave it in there for a long time or anything, but soak it pretty good. And then I'm going to put 6 pieces in there. And I wind up flipping it about a number of times because, like I said, I like to cook it sort of slow and almost until it's too done, because that's the way I like it. The bread is not stale. Sometimes stale bread is good, but just coating this thoroughly until it's almost a little bit fragile to take out without it breaking and stuff. And I need one more piece of bread. So this should be enough batter. We got some company, so I'm making a little bit more than I would for just a couple people. But this bread feels appropriate. It feels a little bit tough, but not too tough. If this were a real crusty, rustic bread, I might actually soak it for a few minutes or 5 minutes just to really break down let the crust soak in a little bit. One more piece. So I'm going to not flip that until, you can almost tell by the smell once you're used to it. But I'm going to try to cook it or flip it when it gets a little bit brown. And then sometimes, depending on temperatures and stuff, I flip it 4 or 5 times. So I'll make note of the time and let you know how many gross minutes this takes. So I'm gonna turn that up a hair. There's no sizzle or anything. I'm gonna put it at 250 and then just let that be, and we'll check back in a few minutes. All right, I did turn the temperature up to 275 or 300. It was a little bit too cool. And we're gonna do flip number 1 so you can see what it looks like. The bread is still very pliable and fragile, so I'm going to wind up flipping it a couple more times because I want it to be fully cooked and, like I said, a little bit almost tough and chewy. That's the way we like it, but I wouldn't want to leave it too much longer. That's been 4 minutes since I put it in there, so that'll start to firm up with the eggs cooked, and then we'll come back and flip it a time or 2 or 3 or 4 more times. We'll see. Okay, it's been 7 minutes. No, 9 minutes since flip number 1. So this is going back to the original side. It's getting almost too brown, but that's perfect. So it's firming up perfectly. And we're going to leave this for a couple more minutes and probably flip it 1 more time, and it'll be done. So you can see it's not floppy. Nobody likes floppy French toast. So we'll flip it 1 more time and let it firm up again, and we'll be putting powdered sugar and real syrup on it. It'll be yummy. Okay, it has been 12 minutes since I put it in first, and just 1 or 2 since I last flipped it, and it's done. Some would call that done. I might even call it done, but I'm going to go to the other side for 1 or 2 minutes and just let it continue to dry up a little bit in a good way. And we're going to call the video done there, but we'll have a nice thumbnail with powdered sugar and syrup and sausage on the side. And like I said, it's somebody's birthday, so we'll have some festive beverage. And hope you enjoyed that video. And tune in to see what's next. Last video was the beaver tree. This one's French toast. You never know what's going to be next. Take care.